But
Yeah.
anyway, up next we had a Divas Championship match. I almost said AJ Fox versus Alicia Lee. AJ Lee versus Alicia Fox. I like that they're actually following through with this because Alicia Fox has pinned AJ Lee in a non-title match. And you and I were kind of wondering, like, oh, well, I guess now that AJ Lee has successfully defended against Paige, is she going to just move on to Alicia Fox, since Alicia Fox should be the number one contender? A lot of the time, WWE drops their ball on that stuff, and they just kind of forget, like, oh, who cares if she pinned her? It doesn't mean anything. And then they proceed to make it seem like the only way to become a number one contender is to pin the champion in a non-title match. But this was I honestly don't even remember anything from this match other than Paige's commentary, which, Paige has some really great lines on commentary sometimes, but her fake laugh makes me cringe harder than just about anything else in the WWE right now.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I gotta be honest, I didn't catch that this match was for the Divas Championship, so thank you for bringing that up. Because
Yeah.
I agree, I think it's great that they had that follow through. And as you said, not really much to say. Paige's commentary was the only notable thing here, the only memorable thing about this encounter. And then she moves away from the table at one point when Alicia Fox seems to be in firm control, like she may even be about to secure the win. And Paige starts screaming at her and distracting her. AJ gets the roll up and gets the 3 count. So this whole dynamic between Fox, Lee, and Paige, it just continues to fascinate and intrigue, like, where is it going? And then after the match, I'd say this is what I didn't get if you're Alicia Fox, because at Hell in a Cell, Paige slaps you in the face. Tonight, she costs you the Divas Championship. And now here, she, Paige is pretending to be so apologetic, like, I'm sorry, and then seems to offer her, I guess, her version of a friendship bracelet. Fox goes to take it, and she gets kicked right in the face. Now, are they trying to say, like, well, Alicia Fox is just as screwed up as Paige, so yeah, I guess that's why she would buy it. But still, I was just kind of like, really, Alicia? Really? So Paige just keeps putting the boots to her, laying her out, takes her to the outside, throws her against the security barricade, like really mauling her. And then Jerry Lawler, of all people, steps in and stops the beatdown and checks in on Alicia Fox. Just really a weird segment there.
Thanks, Paige. I'll take it from here.
Pretty much. So yeah, apparently Alicia Fox is the worst best friend ever. Paige may be a lone wolf now alongside AJ. I don't know if they're done with each other. I doubt it. But I'm actually intrigued now to see where this goes, seeing as how all these quote-unquote friendships have seemingly dissolved.
Yeah, Paige even screams something about how she doesn't even need a best friend anymore.
Yeah, she's over it. She's so over it.
All right, so up next we had Dean Ambrose, I believe.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Actually,
up next was the Cena thing.
Yes.
The friggin' Cena Stephanie McMahon thing. So, I mean, hey, we already talked about this in Heat of the Night, so if you want to skip over it, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, let's skip over it, man.
All right. Up next was... I will point out, though, that this was the segment where they announced that we were going to get Team Cena versus Team Authority for Survivor Series.
Right.
So, up next was the Usos versus Damien Mizdow and The Miz. LOL Usos win with Twin Magic, total heel move.
Yeah, I was going to make that a Heat of the Night, and I'm like, no, John, that's way too petty, but I will at least make it a nitpick. That really annoyed me, that they used Twin Magic to win. Like, seriously, Usos. But yeah, LOL Usos win. Damien Mizdow was the real star here, the real winner of this match. Nothing more to say than that.
Okay. Up next was... we had a segment where John Cena was talking to Dolph Ziggler backstage, presumably asking him to join Team Cena at Survivor Series. They shook hands, and that was about it. But then we had a commercial, and when we came back, Kane approached Dolph Ziggler backstage, said there was a report going around that he was talking to Cena, and Ziggler acknowledges that he was, and Kane says that he can only take that as an act of aggression against the Authority, and he tells Ziggler that he will see him in the ring. So we set up for Ziggler-Kane later in the night. And up next, we had... the immortal Susan G. Komen, brother.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan comes out. He puts over the Susan G. Komen campaign for breast cancer awareness. Before that he says, I'm so proud and happy for John Cena, beating Randy Orton. I know he's going to take his title back, Jack. And oh my God, it was
I
just
love that
nauseating.
Hogan refers to Cena as his champion now.
Yeah, it honestly, I was a bit perturbed by it. Just like, wow, Hulk, it's a little weird. But yeah, puts over the Susan G. Komen campaign and says, even though the campaign's over, women fight breast cancer every day, and really talks about breast cancer and breast cancer awareness. And then after the whole thing, he invites women from the campaign, presumably breast cancer survivors, in the ring to pose with him, and that ends the segment. It's a good cause, sure, but I still really wish that Hulk Hogan would be used as something more than the ambassador for the WWE cause of the month or the WWE thing of the month, whether it be the network or Susan G. Komen. Like, get him to do something. Preferably not with John Cena, but I guess I'll take what I can get.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan, more like Hulk Komen.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all he's done all month. Like, he shows up. I think he's been on 3 of the 4 Raws that happened this month, and every time it was just talking about Susan G. Komen. And the worst part is, after he was done cutting his super pluggy, super pandery promo, he invited these Komen women representatives to come in and do poses with him.
Right.
Yeah. But we go from crap to awesome, because up next, Bo Dallas issues an open challenge.
Indeed he does. And who answers the call but
Feed me more.
Yes, I was going to say, who answers the call but the human wrecking ball, Ryback.
Who calls him that?
Well, commentary does. And I think he may have even referred. Yeah.
Huh.
So
I must have missed that nickname. I like it, though.
So Ryback comes out. He is back. The crowd. This crowd was wonderful tonight, by the way. I love this crowd tonight. I thought they were great. And they popped big for Ryback. Happy to see him back, as were we. And yeah, he pretty much demolishes Bo Dallas here. But I think the real story here, Ashton, is how into Ryback the crowd was.
Yeah.
Does the meat hook clothesline, and as he's winding it up, he gets the feed me more chance going. He hits it, and the Ryback laugh after he hits it was great. And then he's like, finish, hit, and the crowd says it with him. And then he does the shell shock, and he marches around the ring, does the stomp, and then plants him down, gets the 3 count. So yeah, the crowd was really into Ryback. He's babyface again. Cooking on all cylinders. Let's do this push right this time.
Yes, please.
I would definitely give Ryback a spot on Team Cena at Survivor Series.
For sure. I'm surprised he didn't clean house tonight when everyone was fighting, but he was a part of it, sadly.
Yeah. And you know what? Next week, just so we just clear all the brush out of the way to create a path for the future, I would have him sever ties with Curtis Axel. Maybe they have an implosion and he lays Curtis Axel out. So there you go. And
or maybe we just never acknowledge that they were ever a tag team in the first place. That would be an option.
That works too. But regardless, I hope they push Ryback to the point of credibility and strength that we make the prospect of Ryback versus Lesnar plausible. That's what I would really like to see.
That would be incredible.
Even if it never comes to fruition, if you just make him strong enough where you think to yourself, wow, he could really beat Lesnar, I think that's a success. So let's get it done.
Absolutely. All right. Man, he was awesome tonight. Here's the thing. After we got the Usos rolling up on Sandow and Miz, actually there was like a whole string of events. It was the Cena thing with Stephanie, and then the Usos winning as always, and then Kane acting all badass and telling Ziggler that he has a match with him, and then the Hulk Hogan thing. I was so done with this Raw. And then Bo Dallas comes out, and literally 5 minutes before Bo showed up, you said that you wish the show would end with a big brawl in the ring where Ryback comes out to clean house as a representative for Team Cena. And I said, oh, John, that's not going to happen. There's no way Ryback's going to return tonight, and it's all your fault for getting my hopes up. And then Bo comes out, and I'm like, oh, my God, is this going to be it? Because friggin' he said something about how he had an open challenge. And then you were like, dude, I think it's going to be it. And then it happened, and I immediately shot up in my seat, and I was into it the whole time. And this segment alone brought me back into Raw.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if they really commit to it this time and don't do a cheap cop-out when Ryback's on a downward spiral, which they didn't even have to give him in the first place, mind you, by having him feud with Cena, he can be a top babyface again. I readily believe that.
Was this the halftime segment?
It may have been. I know there was some discussion on Bleed Up that I think this was the halftime segment, either that or the next segment that we got.